The condition node is similar to a flag check node, except that instead of checking for a flag value, it's actually going to check for a condition within the game. Just as with the flag check node, it does not show up on the campaign table. It's just basically used to direct the player based on whether the condition is met or not. If it is met, it'll go through the true. If it is not met, it'll go through the false path. So let's take a look at what you can do with this. First, you have some character and roster options. You can see how big the party size is. Check character equipment to see if they have a certain piece of equipment. To check their power level relative to the difficulty of the current level. So that would be if they are underpowered, for instance, or if they are overpowered. So you can maybe ramp up some difficulty or help them out. To check for character deaths. You can check for difficulty at this point that they've set in the options menu, if they've used checkpoints, if the campaign has been completed, and the challenge dice rolls we're going to come back to in a bit. The persistent gains are for charms, so you can see if they have a specific charm in their necklace or if their charm necklace level is at a certain tier, like for instance gold or crystal or emerald. And we can also check tag mapping. This is for if you've set one tag to the value of another tag, and you can learn more about that in its own video under the set map tagging video. But here you'll be able to check, for instance, if the day is equal to Tuesday. Developer mode is for your use as well. It's not just for us. This is to see if you're testing your own game. So this is a good way to add certain values up front if you just want to have them for testing purposes, or if you want to go through a warp only if you're testing. And then there's retries. You can also keep track of your retries here. We may be changing where this is located, but we'll still have this option for you. This is just to see if, a player has failed an encounter and then decided to retry it or not. So now let's focus on the challenge dice rolls condition. You can make checks based on the last dice roll. This can be a range or a single value, so you can set the range here or check for a specific value, whatever you want that to be. You're always going to want to place this node after a challenge node so that a dice has actually been rolled. It doesn't matter if it was successful or a fail. You could be checking to see if they rolled a nat 1, and maybe you're kind to them and say, okay, we'll let you buy anyways. Or if you're checking for a nat 20 for some special effect. Another thing you can do here is check the cumulative rolls. So to see if you've rolled many nat 20s or if you've just rolled a lot of rolls over 15 or whatever. You have that choice there. You can also see how many of the rolls you're going to check. So you're going to limit the check to just the last 12 dice rolls, and you can make them consecutive if you wanted to as well. And lastly, I just wanted to make sure that you know that you can also check for a flag. So you can set the value within the flag, and then you can check the dice rolled based on that flag. With greater than or equal to, less than, equal to, not equal to, etc., all available to you. Or so that way you can have the critical effect or whatever it is that you're trying to emulate based on a variable like a statistic or something that you've assigned within your own campaign.